So today's important lesson is you cannot drink your long black without a lid in a Land Rover at 90k. So I woke up this morning to a literal rainstorm. So my sleeping was ruined. As a result of that, I've had to go on a mission and have a look at something that may or may not actually have anything to do with this channel now or in the future, but they also absolutely might. Well, these beyond the highway trips are proven to be profitable, but for now I often donate some of it back to the local economy. Well, wouldn't be headed north if I didn't stop at Angel Louise. Now, absolutely would not be New World car park in Taumaranui if I didn't have a fuel issue that I was sorting out in the car park. So we push and turn those little hoodakis on the fuel switching solenoid, and hopefully our issue goes away. So the issue is intermittent. It's a current issue because these are electromagnetic switching. So at some point I'll get that rewired and a new switch and see if that solves the problem. But if not, then it might be new solenoids. But neither thing seems to be terminal at this point. So off to New World to get some supplies. So I'm at Ohura campsite, which is a dock campsite on the Wanganui River, just out of Taumaranui, and it's absolutely pouring. So I'm going to chuck a jacket on, chuck the awning up, and settle into a little bit of work. Legitimately had to be in four-wheel drive to get up to where I am because it's had so much rain and so slippery. So some intrepid paddlers coming back in. Not a bad spot to be sitting and working on the website. If you haven't checked that out already, then I'll put a link in the bio. This bit of an alcove that I'm in with the trees as well actually means that there's the slightest of breeze, and that's about it. That's looking hopeful. And as such, I just jumped out because I've got a leak. It's a Land Rover, who knew? I'm trying to work out why, and this is what I've come up with. This side hasn't got its pressure strip or whatever, so therefore the water just runs all around it.
So that window might have to have some attention in the future. I actually thought that the water was coming in, so in between the hardtop and the tub. Apparently it's not. Alrighty, dinner time. Those of you that have been around for a while and seen my earlier videos will know that I've got a floor section that comes out and turns into a table in the back of the offender for doing all those table type things that you need to do. And a new addition, which we'll see if I can shine a light on, just up in the corner here. A little while back I saw Jack, so Boris the Defender, mentioned that he had one in Boris, and I thought that's quite handy. I should get one of those. Yeah, definitely a good idea with the gas cooker here. As much as I do cook with the door open, better not to push my luck. So I've got to get on, cook some dinner, and you don't need to see that. Damn it, chili bin disaster. Steak for dinner. Well, here I was about to update and say that it looks like the rain seems to have eased, but the wind's gotten up. That's factually incorrect and downright misleading. It's just started raining again. A little bit nervous about leaving the tarpaulin up because there's some slightly bigger gusts come through out there. We'll see how that goes for me in the night or early in the morning. I'm going to have to take the tarp down because it's getting increasingly violent out there. I'm hoping the rain's going to ease, but I think I'm just going to have to put my wet weather gear on and be done with it. I reckon it's fair to call it that kind of sucked. Hopefully that's all the excitement for the evening, and I'll update you in the morning. Just going 10 to 8. Much calmer morning than we go for a quick wander, take some photos and have a bit of a look around, and of course pick up a little bit of rubbish and then hit the road. You see just how much the river's come up overnight. That's about 12 to 16 hours. Last night there's a heap of windfall on the road through here, branches and stuff. Most of it's pretty small, but because it's only 8 AM and this road doesn't see a great amount of traffic at the best of times, just have to take it reasonably slow. So that's the Wanganui River at the Okapai landing. I may have that pronunciation incorrect, but this was one of the landings where Alexander Hattrick's riverboats would stop and let passengers off. So prior to the main trunk line, the Wanganui River was the only access into the central North Island. So that's around the 1900s. And I'm making my way to the Okapai Tunnel, which is one of 13 road tunnels in Taranaki. This is the only one that is no longer accessible at all. It's actually blocked off, and to my knowledge it has been inaccessible since the 1950s or 60s. It had a very short life. They say this is 40 to 45 minutes return. 40 minutes is dock. And so I don't know if that is 40 minutes with a chainsaw and fencing materials or 40 minutes with nothing on your back at all. And if you're not familiar with that reference. I'll try and find a link to the article and put it in the description. Long tunnel. I didn't know a great deal about it, but doesn't show the signs of decay that I expected in terms of rockfall and otherwise inside. But looking at where it goes in terms of where the current road goes, seems like a lot of effort for a tunnel, but they must have had their reasons in the day. So it's a day of muddy paddocks today, it seems. Just making my way across to the Aorangi flour mill site. I don't know if there's actually anything remaining of it or not, but there is definitely an interpretation panel over there. So some of these mills actually have quite an interesting story behind them if you dig into those. When I said those flour mills have interesting histories, that didn't disappoint. A European settler who in the mid to late 1800s brought, if we can use that term, procured the land from the local Maori with the provision of them having shares in his flour mill, defended his ownership with a loaded revolver, and was later jailed for manufacturing and selling gunpowder. Really need to get that bin bag sorted. So that's where we leave the Forgotten World Highway and head to Ohura, the town that the Forgotten World Highway forgot. And from there we'll carry on to Mataeri. So these two little settlements, the people who are there are quite passionate about their town and trying to, I wouldn't say revive it, but quite passionate about keeping the history intact and restoring the old buildings. Really scenic road, really cool road to ride as well. So if you've seen through the hills, that route follows this road. It's a beautiful part of the country, somewhere that just keeps drawing me back. One thing I can definitely say is Ohura would rival anywhere in the country for its public toilets. Absolutely immaculate every time, even with artificial flowers, and they're always absolutely spotless. That's a good level of community pride there. So, see them in Ohura. We'll need to go and stop in at Fiesta Fair. Even if it's just to grab a drink, need to support Michelle, who's a bit of a local legend with the Mexican food cart and also runs the B&B here in Ohura. So definitely stop in, or I'll put some details down below to Michelle's business if you're planning on coming to stay in Ohura. So Ohura's story is that it was a coal mining town. When the coal mines closed, the state coal mines the people moved out because there was no work, and so what was quite a bustling little settlement is now very, very quiet. In the early 90s, it was made even harder by the fact that the town flooded approximately up to about the bottom of the windows on the store here. And so the entire town's flood prone because it is built on an old swamp. As the story goes through my research over the years, while no one will outwardly say it, there seems to have been bureaucratic shenanigans to essentially try and close the entire town down, buy all the residents out and just shut it down, because this does have some amenities, mainly town supply water, which is a bit of an expense for the council. But the residents have held on, and the former coal mining buildings, administration buildings I believe they were turned into a prison, and then when that closed in the mid-90s, things got worse. Yeah, okay, so there's absolutely no driving through that. So I'm going to turn around and go back the very long way to get to where I'm planning on going, which is only a few kilometres that way, but we can't get there. So we've got an hour to get back to Taumaranui, and then Mataeri's 20 kilometres from there. So it's going to be a long day. Just making my way back out of Ohura again. A little bit of local knowledge. There's a back road that apparently does not flood. Funnily enough, it's a road that I looked at and I thought, no, I'll do that on the bike. Here we go, we'll go and have a look, see what happens. And of course, nothing's ever straightforward. There's that tree across the road, as you probably just saw. There is another entrance into this road, so I don't have to go down there. So I'll see how the other access to this road is. I have a pruning saw and I have tow straps and so on, so if I really have to, I can deal with things like that. I'd rather not. Rather take a chance on a 10k detour than a probably 90k detour. I might have to do both. Let's give this a go. 6 kilometres from Mataeri. So I'm just off in search of
apparently a elderly gentleman who's got himself stuck in floodwaters. I'm not sure how keen I am to go through them because I believe they're the ones that I elected to not go through before. I must admit, by myself, I would have been cautious, but I don't really want to. I don't really want to leave someone stranded.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Now, I know you should not use a tow ball, but I have no other option in this instance, but it's also not an off-road recovery. Yeah, so I completely missed all the towing before. Job done. Something the transmission's gotten wet, it's locked out and parked, so we can't actually move it from where it is, but thankfully we managed to rock it to get it out of park the first time and tow him out, but can't move it from there. He's got help coming at some point. He's a bit of a local-ish, but at least he's not stranded in the water. Bit of a shame that I cocked up all of the filming, but hey, here we are. All good, bro? Thank you. Now, because the Forgotten World Highway doesn't have enough saddles, we're heading to Taumaranui via the Okahukura saddle. So, and beyond the Highway 1, we went through the 1 or 1.5 kilometre Okahukura tunnel, so we're now going up over the top. Today seems like a really good day to do that. Oh, it's open. especially in the North Island. There's the Okahukura rail and road bridge. There's Tangarakau back road, which takes you into Taumaranui. Almost back home, ready for another week of work today. So we'll catch you on the next one, and you know the videos if you like it. Everything's down in the bio or flashes up on the screen or whatever. Do your thing. Catch you next time.